They have broken every single flippin' promise to you that they've made. And never has it been so critically important for people to understand the truth. Never has it been more important for the central banks and the governments to hide the truth. They are very, very familiar with what they are doing to the currencies and the fact that we are at the end and they have to transition us into a new system, that fully digital system. Today, we can still take cash out of the system. That creates a problem for them. They want to have absolute and total control. By 2030, you will own nothing and you will have to lease everything. They don't say that last part. They get us used to it and then we pay the price. We need to hold their toes to the fire. We're in a battle for our lives. The clock is ticking.
Hey, shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Racha Quadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders, the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Racha Quadash. Shalom to the Lord's elect. Okay, this is going to be a walk and talk lesson. All right, it shouldn't be too long. We'll see how the spirit move. The sun is it's around 6, so about 2 more hours, I think, until the sun go down. So it's not as hot, but it's pretty hot. So I'm not gonna do a really long walk. Okay. This is based upon a video I was watching last night. I was gonna do the video last night, but I ended up doing it today. You should see a clip there. Lord's will, I'll clip it. More than likely, I'm gonna clip it because I don't want the whole video. Now you can watch the whole video. I didn't watch the whole video. I watched a good portion of it last night, and it's Lynette Zhang with the Canadian Prepper. Okay, Lynette Zhang with the Canadian Prepper, and she's like a financial expert. She's a so-called insider. She could be. She is an insider for sure. She was amongst, the financial sector, and she knows how money works. And she always speaks about, gold and silver, in particular gold. And she understands that gold and silver are real money, and how this financial system that we're in, okay, the bankers, which it's funny how a lot of these individuals that are insiders, a lot of these individuals that have all this information, they very rarely, I'm not saying not all the time, but very rarely do they really start to say names. And I remember I was watching something with Professor Zhang, and he kind of brought that up, like, hey, look, like, if I can talk generally and it's okay, but the moment I start naming names and bringing out particular information, that's going to put a target on my back. So I get that part. I get that. I get it. Nevertheless, a lot of these individuals are insiders, control opposition, whatever it may be. Maybe we'll get the scripture, their own tongue falling upon themselves. That's Psalms, I believe that's Psalms 64 or maybe 94, right? But ultimately, she understands that there's going to be a digital reset, okay? And the whole world is being brought into a new system, which is going to be total control, okay? And the elites are pushing to 2030. We can see them moving quick. We can see them moving fast. This whole thing with Iran and Israel and America, as well as Russia, America, NATO, Ukraine. Those wars are heating up. Okay, you had another strait close, the El Mandeb Strait, which about 7% of global oil comes out of that strait. So there's a blockade on Saudi Arabia, which Saudi Arabia is one of the main nations that exports oil. Okay, and basically it's gonna bring in famine, it's gonna bring in disease, it's gonna accelerate the global collapse. Now the emphasis on this video is You need to get gold. You need to fight back. In her explanation of fighting back and waking up the people, it doesn't work because no revolution, no nation is taken over, no change in power ever comes unless there's violence. Okay? Let me get a scripture for you. All right? You can't take down a nation. You can't take back your sovereignty, which you were never sovereign. Give me a second. Let me just get the scripture. Right? You can never. Hey, man, give me a second. It's the glare. You can never take back your sovereign. You weren't sovereign, but you can never take it back or get it back without violence. This is why 2 Ezra 15th chapter goes into sedition among men, okay, which is pretty much rebelling against the government. And basically this video here, there's a heavy emphasis within that video, if you watch it, of, you know, how you need to get gold. That is your financial stability. Gold. That is money. And she is right. That is money. That is right. But the scriptures speak about how gold, silver, money is not going to deliver you in a time of evil. And also the scripture came to mind on how the elect men of Yahweh Shemashai, their true value of gold, finer than gold, meaning better than gold, more precious than gold, okay, is going to be revealed very soon in these times, okay? This is Revelation 18, and give me a second. Okay, Revelation 18 and 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. The point is violence. Violence is coming. America was established, let's get that. America was established upon violence. So the only thing that can come to you is violence. This is why America is going to go out in such a violent way. Thermonuclear fire. Before that, okay, before that, your society is going to collapse. And you have the wicked elite bankers that are going to try to control that demolition. And while the old is crashing, they're bringing on system, the new system. Okay, I know back in the day when I did telecommunication, we would do what do they call it? It was like a power cut, a crossover, something like that. It's called power crossover. But essentially you have like say we were tearing down a 2G system, right? And the 2G system handles traffic. And we want to put up the new technology, the 3G system. But you have to do that at night when there's not a lot of traffic. But you have to basically have all your equipment ready, have everything ready to do the crossover. And you turn down the 2G system, and you got to get that 3G system online before the morning. So that's essentially what, you know, the elite are going to try to do. And they're doing it now. This is what all these data centers are for. This is the AI, getting people addicted to this. Okay. Turning everything digital. You got digital passports now. You got a lot of countries adopting digital measures, biomeasures. Ultimately, we understand this is all leading to the mark of the beast, which is those chips. Okay, but no country or no nation, there's never a transfer of power unless there's violence, unless another nation takes over another nation. Now, in this case, it's going to be realm, the heavens. They're going to take over the earth. Okay, it's going to be under the management of Yahushua and the Israelites, who the world internet calls Christ, which they don't know him. Okay, we know him, and at his appearing, we're going to be elated, happy. Okay, we're going to glory with Yahushua in that time. But it's going to be a very violent takeover. And within that takeover, all right, people are going to realize that the man of the Lord, okay, is going to be more valuable, right? Gold and silver, they're going to cast their gold and silver off. But the Israelite man is going to be way more valuable than gold, because you got gold, you're set up. The elite, they don't deal with paper money. Okay, your oligarchs, they don't deal with paper money. They deal with gold and silver and resources, land. When it talks about how, let's go there before I go here. Okay, before I go here, let's go to Job. I mean, we can get Abraham too, you know, how rich he was, but let's go here. Job 1:1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared the Most High and escheweth evil. And there was born unto him seven sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camel, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 she asses, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. Now let's look at this word greatest. This is actual true riches. Okay, substance. If you have land, okay, you have different minerals that can grow on that land that you can sell. You can make things. Oil is a resource. If you struck oil, if you had land and you struck oil, you're literally an overnight success. Okay, and you are also a target on your back, because they're going to come and try to take over those resources. They're going to do something to try to take over that land, because what? That's real money. You can build homes, and you can rent them to people, or you can have people buy the estate, but you own the land, so you can get land tax. There's a lot of different things that you can do with that land. You have animals that can be on that land. You have crops that can be on that land. That's actual real money. Paper money, and she goes into it in the video. She goes in on paper money, how they created that to take away the actual wealth. And now she wants everybody to, take over their financial, be more financial literate, right? And understand that real money is gold and silver, and get gold and silver, but it's too late now. And furthermore, even if you do that, that's not going to save you. All right. And furthermore, the real gold, okay, is the man of the Lord. He's going to be known in that day, okay, as the commodity that's going to be above all commodities down here on earth. But let's get this definition. The greatest. Ga the wall. All right. Great, large number. Great, important things. Great things. He had a lot of great things. Okay. Look at the Gadol. To grow, become powerful. That's the Gadol is going to be the root. The magnify. All right. Grow up. Right. In the various sense, this is the strong definition. As in body, mind, estate, or honor, also in pride. Okay, he had great substance, great wisdom. Okay, he had a great household. He was rich, basically. Okay, he was rich. Abraham was rich. Lot was rich. That was a heavy thing for Lot to leave Sodom. Okay, Lot came back as an Israelite. The Lord ain't gonna deliver no heathen. But Lot, he had great substance. This is why his wife looked back. He pretty much left it all. He didn't take anything. Okay, but his 2 daughters with him. His woman came, but she looked back, and we know she turned into a pillar of salt. Okay. Bear with me. But that's all I wanted there. Let's go back to Micah, or where I was going. Pretty much why this place is going to be taken out in a fashion that's going to be taken out, because you have to look at the fashion in which it was established. Like the Elder Yashwama did a video the other day. Was America established on biblical principles? And the white conservative right Christian, they use it at their convenience and try to portray that America was established on biblical principles, the founding fathers. Okay, when that's actually not true. Okay, it was founded upon witchcraft, and there's multiple documents, multiple resources. Okay, multiple information, and furthermore, all you got to do is just go into the history. And really, all you have to do is just open up the Bible and say, okay, did they follow these things? And we'll read one scripture that they didn't follow, which shows you that they're the devil. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence. Period, point blank, right there. Woe means destruction. So the Lord is saying that destruction to individuals that come in this spirit, that covet fields and take them by violence. This is what they're doing in so-called Middle East, with Iran and all those so-called Middle Eastern countries. The Strait, they have power, they have influence. America, I'm speaking about. Okay, the Edomite, he's everywhere, but where he's supposed to be, which biblically, prophetically, this is what he's supposed to be doing this. Okay, and I'm sweating like an animal. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and they take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. This is what the Edomite does. So he can't be the righteous, chosen biblically people. He can't. Those small hats, they're doing the same thing. They literally are taking everything by violence, and they're using the scriptures, as justification. That the Most High told them to go and do it. Okay, but when you look at their actions, it shows you that they're the devil. Devil just means deceiver. Okay, they were set up to take peace from the earth. And this is what they're doing. Are they not? Okay, let's ask this question. Are they not starting wars? What Jake nation? Go ahead, tell me. What Jake nation is out there starting wars? Okay, what Jake nation actually controls resources? Okay, them West African Jakes. Okay, they don't control their resources. A lot of them are colonies of the French, the Dutch, the English. Same thing with the so-called Latin American countries. They're colonies of America. They're colonies of the Spanish. Okay, you have the UK. The UK, they own an island off of the coast of is it some islands out there in South America, Great Britain. Why do they own the island out there? So obviously they're everywhere, putting their hands in everybody's cookie jar, telling them that they need to be peaceful, when all that Esau does is war. Okay, but going back to the point, and let me just go right to the point. This whole gold thing, and yeah, if you got some gold, that's cool. It is a hedge against inflation. We are going to see hyperinflation. You got silver. Yeah, I got a couple of silver coins. I used to have more. I got a couple of silver coins, but that's not going to save you. Let me get that scripture first before we go to the other one. Okay. Where it says riches profit not. And there's several scriptures that goes into. Okay. And the people, like, she's trying to educate people on money These people don't want to hear that, man. You think Jake understands money? Anytime you speak to a Jake in the world about a serious topic, whether it could be your family, whether it be one of your friends, a coworker, you know, a serious topic, maybe it could be about financial responsibility or about health or anything that goes against, you know, Western thought, they got to get off the phone. They got to go. You'll never hear from them again. They'll avoid you, okay? Because they're comfortable in the position. They're comfortable getting their little check from Esau, getting their direct deposit. They're comfortable with their lease on the Mercedes-Benz. They're comfortable in their apartment. Jake is comfortable. But see, what's getting ready to happen is you're getting ready to be challenged. Okay, a lot of you Jakes, you're going to be sent off to these wars, which is attacked by the so-called white man as a purge, okay, a culling, just like they did in Argentina when they whitened Argentina up, called blancamiento, the whitening. Okay, what did they do? They, the so-called Negro population, they sent them off to die in those wars. All right, so they're going to do the same thing because the war with Iran is not going to slow down. Okay, and they're going to send a lot of you what they call YNs, you young Jakes. You're going to have the preferred treatment of getting a military issued gun and uniform and and getting sent out there to die. Okay, you don't want to go fight, but you're going to be forced to fight. Jake going to fight. Okay. So Proverbs 11:4, riches profit not in a day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. So whether you have money or not, all right, whether you have resources or not, if the Most High is coming for your ass, that's it. There's nothing you can do. You're not going to be able to pay off the death angel. You won't be able to pay off, all right, the nuclear missile. Let's just get that. Isaiah, the 13th chapter. You're not going to be able to pay off the Russians. Okay? That evil thoughts are going to come into their mind, and they're going to want blood. The Most High is going to put it in their mind because the American Edomite, he's just doing too much. And when you look at all the problems of the earth, it all stems from one nation state. Now, the thing is, all the nations did, I mean, they did get burned. They all got burned by Esau, you know, but at the end of the day, too, they all participated and they all, some form of fashion, they all benefited from it. More so the elites than the average individual, you know. But now it's just getting out of hand. Okay, I'm just going to go to the point. Right. You know what? What I'll do is, because it's in the same chapter, the verse I was going to get, I'm just going to go to that verse, and then I'm a read down. Okay, Isaiah 13:12. It says, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir." And within that video, she grabbed the gold coin in her hand, and she's like, "This is money, and this is your financial." You know, all that BS, you know, encouraging people to get gold and standing up and this is real money. Well, she's right. That is real money. Okay. This is what the elite are grabbing while they got you people fighting for, you know, Federal Reserve notes or whatever currency that you're fighting for. Okay. They're actually taking actual resources and getting ready to put you in digital slavery, and you're going to have digital money. Right. But see, the thing is, all right, none of these people understand really, okay, none of these people really understand what time they're in. Okay, they don't understand this is the judgment, this is the time of the judgment of the Lord, this is the time of the judgment of the whore, which is America, Babylon the Great. And none of your riches, none of your wealth is going to buy you out of, okay, America can't buy itself out of destruction. You people stocking up food, and you know you got bunkers, and you know you got all the gold. Yeah, grab that gold up, because that's going to be, well, if it's in America, it's going to be it's going to be put back into the element. It's going to be put back into the earth. Okay, but you have the elite, you know, gathering all the gold. That's for us. We're going to get that gold. According to his substance shall the restitution be. The thing that he has stolen from the earth, starting with the Israelites. Okay, he's going to get that back. He's going to vomit up those riches. All right, so our main goal is not to, gather riches, become, and that's a spirit, especially women, because in this world, financial stability is looked at as, stability, and you're good, which in a sense it is. Money solves a lot of problems. The scriptures speak about that. Money is a defense. So I'm not against, you're not getting money, but the priority, everybody's priorities are, out of whack because they don't understand what's coming. And I get it too, because they're the Most High didn't choose them, or at least he didn't call them. Okay. So the Lord is going to make the manner of the Lord, okay, in these times more precious than gold. And gold is actual money. From the beginning, gold has always been money. Wars have been fought. People have died. Like civilizations have been built off of it. Okay, everybody's been in possession of this resource. So we're going to come into a time where a man is going to be more precious than that. You might see a ton of gold, and you have what this world call a rinky-dink so-called black man, but he's of the elect. He's more precious than that. Because that man is going to be tied to salvation. Okay, especially the woman's salvation. She has to be directly tied with that man to receive that salvation, as well as a prophet, as well as this man could be doing miracles, healing people. Okay, you can have all the money in the world and be sick. The only thing on your mind, you would, if you were a rich man, you were terminally, about to die, and you were in pains, okay, and you had a choice to become healed, all right, or keep your riches and die. You would get healed and be poor, okay, because they don't profit you. If you're sick and dead or sick, you can't spend that money. And the scriptures say that. The scriptures speak about how health is basically better than wealth. It's above infinite riches, and a sound body above, wealth, essentially. I'm not quoting it verbatim, but it's in the book of Sirach. I'm bringing it out every once in a while. Okay. Therefore, Isaiah 13:13, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. See, that's what's coming. This is why your money, even if you have actual real gold. Now they show you that in I Am Legend, how you have those Federal Reserve notes. You have that scene where the dog went into that abandoned building for whatever reason, I forget. And then Will Smith, he went in there to find his dog, and you had those night walkers, those zombie type creatures. And then there was a scene where it was a room full of Federal Reserve notes. He didn't look at it like, oh, wow, I hit the jackpot. He didn't look at it like that. At that point, it was not even worth toilet paper. It's not even toilet paper. Okay? It's not even worth. See, we're coming into a time where what they call in finance market correction. Okay, there's going to be a market correction. You have the so-called high value man here. He's, well dressed, clean cut. He might be a doctor. He might be a lawyer. He might be a guy in finance. He might be he could be a dope boy. He could have his own business, an entrepreneur. He's valued as, or he's an entertainer or athlete. He's valued all the way up there at the top, right? But you have a market correction where the real value of resources, okay, are going to be corrected. And the Lord is going to not only correct it, but amplify it. And then he's going to show you that these people, they ain't worth shit. Okay, bear with me. It says, and it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one to his own land. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of these heathens. They're gonna go to their land. A lot of these Chinese, they're gonna go back to China. You know, you gonna have Arabs go back to those Arab countries. All right, because it's gonna get hot here in Babylon. Remember, this is speaking about Babylon the Great. When you read up, it goes into, this is speaking about Babylon the Great. Okay. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Any individual here in America that's not party elect, if they're here in America, that's it. That's it for their ass. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Okay, so it's going to get to the point to where you're going to have people going house to house. Okay, children being destroyed, whether it's the troops, whether it's marauders, women being raped. I mean, the amount of rape that's getting ready to happen to these modern women is just going to be, I mean, they're whores anyway. So, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, but ultimately it's the nuclear missiles that's going to do all these things. They're going to completely destroy everything. Okay. Behold, I will stir up the Medes, which are the modern day Russians, against them. So the Lord is stirring them up now. Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. See? So you're not going to be able to pay them off. Even if you actually have real gold and silver. They don't give a shit about that. The Lord put a spirit on them. Excuse me. The Lord put a spirit on them to want blood, man. There comes a point where you can't buy a man off. Okay? You know, if you commit adultery, you know, with a woman, you can't buy that man off. If he in the spirit, you can't buy that spirit of jealousy. He ready to take both of your ass out. You can't say, no, baby, wait, no. I have $1 billion. Yeah, fuck that $1 billion. Okay? He want blood. He won't be satisfied until he receives that blood. Okay? Let me read this last precept here. I'll read a little bit more, actually. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. So you see how it's going to get to a point to where you can't pay these people off. Okay, you're not going to be able to pay off the destruction coming. No, Lord, please, no, I got this gold. I got 20 tons of gold. He like, nigga, I made gold. I don't need gold. Okay, well, I got my elect men. They're finer than gold. They're more precious than gold. For something to be more precious, okay, you know what? Let me go into the blue. Let me look at that precious. I should make a man more precious. And her explanation of how to save America and how to, man, come on, man. It's over with. See, these people, they don't understand prophecy. Let's look at this word, yaquar. To esteem, be prized, be valuable. Okay, be precious, be costly, be appraised. To appraise something, you see those shows where, like, what do they call them? Those pawn shops, where you might bring in, the first Batman comic, or you might bring in a piece of furniture from the 1700s, or a coin from the Civil War, or whatever it may be, a coin from Alexander, and then you have an appraiser come in and they'll appraise it. Okay, the Lord is the appraiser. Right now, to this world, it doesn't look like we have any value, no respect. That's okay. It is what it is. The scriptures say what? Honor, humility before honor. Okay? Humility before honor. All right? So the Lord is going to praise us, and he's going to set us on high. Okay? Be highly valued. See? Be esteemed. So the people are going to look at us completely different, especially Jake. What is the scripture? Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. When they see that, see, this is the thing, people respect power. And I get it too. Like you gonna respect power. That's just human nature. Right? But at the same time, you have to be spiritual. They respect, Esau does have the power, but they can't even see that, number one, the Most High gave him that power, but for a moment, okay, and they have respect unto him like he's doing what's right. He's not doing what's right. All right. Yep. Give me a second. Verse 19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, which are the elite, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah? Fire. What do nuclear missiles bring? Fire. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. So basically, as we always speak about, America is going to be destroyed. The inhabitants here that are not part of the elect, heathen, the other nations, 2/3 of our people, they're going to be melted. They're going to be dissolved. And then America is going to be a gazing stock forever. And it's never going to be inhabited by man. It's going to be desert-like creatures here. Okay. And it's going to be a memorial. Okay. A monument of a wicked nation that fought against the Most High, fought against Jerusalem. All right. And within that, before that fully manifests, the true value of the men of the Lord are going to be revealed. Okay. And the man of the Lord, starting with the prophet, is going to be the highest commodity down here on the earth. And so until next time, shalom to the elect.